with your operations of how you're handling some of the leads that we're giving you. And notice I didn't say referrals or patients. What we deliver is leads, people who are interested, and those leads triage down from all the way from an impression, an ad we serve, to a click, to a visit to a website, to a conversion, and then they go all the way down the funnel from answering the phone to coming in to becoming a patient. So a lot of moving parts, and the portal is part of the effort to manage those moving parts. One other thing before I turn it over to my colleagues Zach and Nicholas is I work closely with Lauren and Dawn at ADPI, and they've given me the feedback that, to communicate to the group that this portal doesn't necessarily change too much about people's day-to-day workflow. Everyone just answers the phone, same as they normally do. We have email delivery of our leads, but the portal is the place to check those, so there shouldn't be too much disruption. This hopefully is an enhancement of how everyone works, and just like any software, we're continually improving it. We actually have a release scheduled probably another week or two that should improve some of the features and functionalities. So at this point, people should be logged in, seeing Zach's screen. If you can't see it, my email address is bjocelyn@mdconnectinc.com. Shoot me an email. As far as I know, we are broadcasting successfully, and I'll turn it over to Zach Burt, who's going to be our driver in the portal today. Zach?
Hi, everyone. Thanks again for joining us today. I know everybody's busy. Thanks for taking the time. So today, as Ben said, the primary purpose of the webinar is to walk through the performance portal. What is it? It's where you're going to go to check what leads came in, when they came in, and verify those leads all the way down to down the funnel to the appointment. So let me kind of start with some logistics here. How do you get into the portal? You should have all been provided a username and password by your operations manager. If not, be sure to reach out to them and request that. We've already provided all the login information to them, so they'll be able to give it to you. They should have also provided you with the link. If not, it's portal.mdconnectinc.com is where you will be able to log in. Again, reach out to your operations manager if you have not received your login information. All right, now onto the portal. Let's kind of start from the top of how leads get in here. So this is where you're going to track them. Where do they come from? How do they get in here? So generally, what we do is we run digital marketing programs primarily based in search marketing. So ads at the top of Google. For example, here's a quick search. Obviously this is from the Boston area. General dentist. Here are various ads. We're going to be running these for all the various affiliates and the individual offices here. So what happens is someone clicks on one of these ads and they land here. I'm sure you've all seen these landing pages. These are the ones you've been running for a while. They come here off of an ad, and they can do one of two things. They can either fill out a form, or they can scroll down and call one of your offices directly based on these numbers here. Now what we do is we track these phone numbers, we record the phone call, and these get transported into the performance portal. As well as if somebody fills out a form, those also get tracked in the performance portal. So once somebody comes here and fills out a lead, it gets logged into the performance portal. So I want to spend some time to run through this real quick. We're going to go through each module. If anybody has any questions throughout the webinar, they can ask them for the little widget right here. There's a questions widget on your right-hand side in the bar. And feel free to ask questions throughout the webinar. I'll address them all towards the end, and we'll be able to get to everybody's questions. All right, so we're going to go module by module here. Right now, we're going to go through a couple various access levels: the aggregate level, the affiliate level, all the way down to the general office level. If you look at the drop-down here, this is where you can filter between the various offices, affiliates. It's pretty pretty monstrous right now because there's every single office right here. So we're going to drill down a little further to the affiliate level and take a look at that data. So just quick highlight of the data that's coming in with all aggregated. You know, thousands of visits, multiple leads. So let's drill down to the affiliate level to get some information that's a little more boiled down. So we'll look at First Advantage. So when you first log in, you're going to get this HIPAA agreement right here. It's just a couple points that you are authorized to view all this, and of course everybody on the call is, so accept. All right, so when you first get in here, this is the affiliate level, so you'll see all the various offices, so you can drill down there. I'll come back to that in a sec. So the first module here, this is the lead trend. And the lead trend is going to show you leads to date throughout all the months in the current year. If you scroll over here, you'll see multiple instances of this in the portal. You'll see a calendar. This is where you can manipulate the date range, where right now your only option is year to date because we only have February data in here. But once December rolls around into 2016, you'll be able to flip back and forth between 2016 and 2015, and we'll do a year-over-year analysis. If you hover over the bar, it'll show you an actual number representation of how many leads have been generated to date. All right, and that's the lead trend module. All right, if we scroll down into the next module here, this is going to default to month to date, the key metrics module. And what this is showing you is visits. This is visits to this landing page so far in February. It's defaulting the month to date. And you can manipulate the date range here. You have a little more flexibility. You can do last month, past 90 days, year to date, a custom date range. Let's keep it at month to date. And then it's going to show you visits, so pulling visits directly from analytics to this landing page. Then leads. Leads is an aggregate of phone calls and form leads to meet our definition of leads. Our definition of a phone lead is 1 minute plus unique. So if somebody calls 3 times, you want to count that once. If somebody calls for 30 seconds and hangs up, we don't count that at all. Form leads, a form lead that is considered a lead is any submission that is unique and scrubbed for spam. And based off of that number, we calculate a quick conversion rate, which is based off of the number of leads and the number of visits. You'll see a number of points throughout the portal. You'll see these question marks. You can hover over those. We'll give you a little bit of clarification on exactly how we quantify these numbers and what they mean and how we arrived at the calculation here. In the same box here, you'll see 2 ways to drill down into this lead number. So again, these are phone calls and form leads. So if you click into phone calls, you'll be brought to the phone dashboard. This is your central hub for all phone activity that's occurring on these landing pages. And again, this is the landing page right here. Quick note, we are designing some new landing pages. They are in development, should be rolled out later this month. Look a little cleaner, more modern. We're hoping they'll perform very well. Similar layout, but we're hoping for a performance improvement with these. These will all be customized to the various affiliates. And back to the portal. So in the call dashboard here, it's going to default to all calls. So this is going to show you repeat calls. It's going to show you calls under a minute. It's going to show you unanswered calls. If you go up to the date selector, you can manipulate the date range, just like you can on the front page. And you'll see a new filter right here. It's a little filter icon where you can filter by type. The most important filter here is lead type. You can filter by lead activity and by appointments. Let's go to lead activity. So this is going to filter out all the unanswered calls and only show you calls over a minute or calls that were pre-qualified by the IVR. Now, when somebody calls one of the numbers on the landing page, they're going to be prompted with an IVR message that says, this call will be recorded. Please press 1 if you are a new patient. Please press 2 if you are an existing patient. And if they do press 1 or 2, that's going to automatically categorize the lead as IVR new patient or IVR existing patient. So you'll see here, we filter by lead activity. This is showing you all the calls over a minute and all the calls that were selected as IVR new patient. Now there's a couple things you can do here in the individual lead records. You can go into, if you'll see here's a record here. This is actually a good example. There's 3 calls from the same number. It was a repeat caller here. He called, he pressed 0. He got the message. He got the answering machine. He called again at 9:51. Pressed 0, rang the voicemail, and then he called again and got somebody on the phone. And we'll take a listen to this call. This is how we know this information here. So right over here next to the records, you'll see a magnifying glass, a notepad, and a play button. The magnifying glass will let you view the record. The notepad will let you edit the record, and you can listen to the call with the play button. You can also listen to the call in the edit record, which is what we'll do now. So we took a listen to this call. It was placed at First Advantage Dental. I believe it was placed to the Latham office. And a man named Michael Horowitz is looking for gum work, some crowns, 2 root canals, and he might want to switch his dentist. He didn't make an appointment on the phone, so we categorized that from, it was initially IVR new patient, and we categorized it as appointment likely, because it sounds like he's going to make an appointment. Let's take a quick listen to the call. Hopefully you guys can hear it.
Thank you for calling First Advantage Dental at the River Hill Center in Latham, New York. If you know the extension of the person you are trying.
All right, see if we can get past the ringer here.
First Advantage Dental.
Hi, my name's Mike Horowitz, and I recently changed dentists, and I went for my first visit with the new dentist, and they did all my x-rays, but then said I need to get...
All right, so there's Michael calling and trying to schedule an appointment. We notated that in the lead, and we saved it. So now that you have an appointment in here, you can go to the filter by type right here, and go to appointments, click apply, and the appointment will show up right there. So after you've gone through here and listened to a week or 2 of calls, and there's 10 or so appointments in here, you'll have a nice long list. In addition to the lead filter here, you can also filter by call length, whether or not it was been audited, or if it's a repeat call, or hide repeat calls. All right, so let's flip back to all calls. And also, this list can get pretty long, so you have the ability to go from 10, 25, 50, 100 records, and you can also export it to CSV. It'll prompt you for your initials, just for HIPAA concerns there. And that about sums it up for the call dashboard. It's a real powerful tool that you can use to both audit your front desk staff, making sure that they're answering calls, picking up calls. You can also monitor it if you have a lot of 0-minute calls. That means a lot of calls going unanswered. And you can audit all your leads right here. Okay. So again, those phone calls are generated from ads run to these landing pages and call these phone numbers. The flip side of that lead is the form leads. So let's take a look at those. So somebody submits a form lead on the landing page. You can click here, and you can see those right here. So to date, there's 2 form leads in here from Don Steiner and Taisha McAuliffe. And it's going to record the phone, the email, and the comments. So let's see here. So Don sent an email to collect the magnifying glass and see the whole lead here. So Don sent an email in. He's a patient of Dr. Morrell. He lost the filling. Doesn't have phone access, and he left his phone number. So if I were at this practice, I'd call Don on Monday when he has phone access, or send him an email. Let's go back to form leads. Again, you can manipulate the date range and filter by accepted, or if you wanted to see spam for some reason, you can go there. You can look at duplicates and tests, and you can also reclassify the leads in case spam snuck through. You can classify it as spam if you'd like and save the lead. Important note on emails. We've gone through and confirmed all email submissions from every affiliate landing page into the portal, so we can guarantee that that is working correctly. We are also forwarding these appointment notification requests to your individual email addresses. However, that is a courtesy, and we can't guarantee it. We can't log into your email and make sure that it isn't being classified as spam, that it isn't automatically going to trash. So to mitigate that, I recommend everybody to add portal@mdconnectinc.com to your safe sender list. However, the place to really make sure that all these emails are either getting to your personal email addresses is to make sure they're in the portal and your email address. So I would log in, look here. So if anybody from First Advantage Dental is on the call, I would log into here and make sure that I got both these leads from Don Steiner and Taisha McAuliffe. If there's any issues receiving leads, either to your personal email address or to the portal, be sure to reach out to your operations manager, and we'll work with them to make sure that that gets remedied quickly there. But the primary place to be checking for form leads is 100% in the performance portal. Great. All right, let's move on to the next module, the financial summary. Quick note on the financial summary, these are the financial data is going to be displayed only at the affiliate level. So individual offices, and I'm going to boil it down to the individual office level later on in the call. They're not going to see the financial data, only at the affiliate level. And the financial summary data only displays after a full month of data has been populated. So we're not going to actually see any here, but we're going to walk through it to show you the features here. So right here, it's going to show you the average cost per lead and the estimated return on investment. And if we click into the ROI detail, it's going to bring you to a screen where it really boils this down. Now this screen right here is based off of both real data, and some real data coming from the account history, and some assumptions that we made and that we're working with ADPI on coming to these numbers here. So this data is based on a rolling 12-month average of the data in your account. So what this is saying is on average, and again, these numbers are very low because we only have a couple days worth of data in here, but bear with us. Let's kind of explain the functionality here. So based on the data that's currently in the account, it's saying on average there's 48 visits coming per month, and on average is 3.1 leads generated. Those are based on real numbers in the account, and those will obviously increase once we have a full month of data in here. And then the next two numbers are some assumptions that we're making. So we're saying that typically based on programs we've run that if 3.1 leads are generated at a 40% conversion lead to appointment rate, that's going to be about 1.2 appointments. And then once that appointment walks into your door, there's about a 60% chance that becomes an actual procedure. So those are both numbers that we have control over, and in the coming weeks and months here, we'll be working with ADPI to get those numbers a little closer to your industry and making sure that that number is a number you're comfortable with. So based on those numbers, it's calculating a revenue number, so $1,680 in revenue, based off of a procedure rate of $2,000 per procedure. Now again, that's a number we're working with ADPI to come to a midpoint here. The goal is to get to a number that is a midpoint. So, maybe if a teeth cleaning is generated and they come in for a cleaning, probably not going to net $2,000, but perhaps, someone comes in and needs 3 root canals, and that's a high dollar procedure right there. So it's all about finding the midpoint, and it may not be $2,000, it may be $1,400, it may be $3,500, but we're going to be working in the coming months to get that to a number that we all feel comfortable with. So once there's some data in the account, you're going to be presented with an estimated monthly return on investment. It's going to show you the average practice revenue generated per month, the average revenue per lead, the cost of the program, and the cost per lead. Okay, so that's about sums it up for the financial summary. Again, this is only going to be at the affiliate level, so if you just have access to a single office or a couple offices, you don't have to worry about that. All right, next module is the call summary. This is a great little widget to come to quickly glance at, see the activity that's been generated, kind of month to date here. Again, you have the ability to manipulate the date range. What this is showing you is saying that there's month to date, there's been 4 1-minute plus unique phone calls generated, which is our definition of a phone lead. And it also says that there's been 2 3-minute plus unique phone calls. That's our definition of a proxy appointment. So the thought there is that as a medical marketing company in the digital space, we've audited thousands of phone calls. And we found that if somebody is on the phone for more than 3 minutes, they're likely doing something of importance. For example, Michael Horowitz was on the call for 3 minutes and 39 seconds and basically booked an appointment. So the thought behind that is that if they're on the call for longer than 3 minutes, they're doing something of significance, whether it's scheduling an appointment, asking multiple questions so they can later call back and schedule an appointment. So that's an important number to keep an eye on. Another important number here is the total calls. This includes unanswered calls, calls that went to voicemail, calls that were under a minute. That's an important number to keep an eye on, just so you can, making sure you're answering as many calls as you can. Given people may be calling after hours, but that's an important number to keep an eye on, so you can judge how many calls are actually being picked up. Listen to calls, that's going to take you to the same screen as the phone, listen to phone calls button on the previous module does. All right, if we scroll up, you will see the program team. You'll see Nick Whitbeck, one of the primary account managers, Nick Snow, and myself, Zach Burt, and Ben Joslin. We're all available. All our contact information is right here. And then if you scroll down to marketing reports, you're going to see a little link here where you can generate a PDF. All right, so let's generate that and take a look at it. So if you take a look at this, you will see all the information we previously spoke about boiled down. So you're going to see the full lead trend here. And again, it's a little bare because there's not a lot of information here, but once it's populated, you'll see the full lead trend, the ROI screen that we saw before, last month's metrics, the past 90-day metrics, and the full description of the program here. This is great to print out, bring to a meeting, pull up on an iPad, get a quick look at the program that's being done here. If you scroll down, online program, this is a description of what we do for you. Again, primarily what we do for you is run paid search to those landing pages and generate leads. They're all tracked here. And we're also going to be posting one of these trainings here so you can quickly review it here. Our Medical Insights blog, we're a medical marketing company in the digital space. We blog about it quite a bit. Our blog's pulled in here. I'm sure there's some relevant content for everybody on the call, so take a look at that at your leisure. That about wraps it up for just walking through the functionality of the portal. Quickly, I do want to log into an office level account just to show you what most of you will be seeing here. So this is typically what an office level account is going to look like. This is Latham. You're going to see the various different phone numbers. You do have the ability to go in and segment by source phone number. Most of them are going to be coming in through default for the time being, but if you so desired, you could split up by Google calls, by Facebook calls, by Bing calls, and there could be more sources popping up there over time. But you're going to want to spend the bulk of your time in the rolled up view here. So that about wraps it up for the marketing portal. I think it's going to be a great tool for everybody involved here. I'm going to take a minute to answer some questions here. I see a couple come through. Feel free to type in some questions over to the right here. I'm going to pop them open right now and see what we got. Okay, I have one question here. Do we inform the caller they are being recorded? Absolutely. So if they call one of the numbers on the landing pages, they're going to get prompted by an IVR that says, this call is being recorded, press 1 for new patient, press 2 for existing patient, press 3 for other. If there are any other questions, you can ask them in the questions dashboard in the sidebar over here. Feel free to do so. We'll remain on the line for a few more minutes if anybody has any questions.
So while we wait for questions to come in, this is Ben. I'd just like to thank Zach for walking us through the performance portal. Good job, Zach. Thank you very much. Zach and I have worked for quite some time in developing this portal, really with the goal of making it easy for our clients to understand our marketing results. So if it's not easy at any time or there are questions, you can reach out to myself or Don or Zach. Our information is right in the portal, so shoot us an email. From time to time, we do release new software in this, so we user test it before we do, and we hope that it's always easy to navigate and fairly self-explanatory. Any more questions, Zach, that you've seen come through?
I'm not seeing any at the moment, but feel free to ask them while we're on the call.
Right. It's interesting, 8 years ago you had to have 10 years ago you had to have a PhD to program a VCR, and now you open up an Apple iPhone box and it just works. So that's really our goal, is to make it just work and then it makes sense to people, and we're boiling down a lot of information to one place to hopefully make it easy for people. And as I mentioned earlier in the call, we hope this enhances people's workflow and gives you an ability to service your customers and grow your business in a way that's beneficial to you. One thing that I should mention is part of MD Connect services is we do audit phone calls. So from time to time, generally at the start of the next month, there's about a 2-week audit cycle where we're in there, we're listening to calls, and even though a computer will classify something as a lead because the customer has pressed 1 if they're a new patient or if it's over 60 seconds long, we actually will go in, we'll listen to that, try to make sure that we can sample a wide range of calls, and we'll put notes in that, and that screen is actually going to be updated fairly soon, so you will see our notes in there as well. It certainly doesn't prevent people from their own data capture, but we do have a team, and we provide that service to ADPI, and we will be sort of managing that for the foreseeable future. So I know you guys are in Boston in a week or so. Perhaps we might get a chance to meet a few of you. If we do, we look forward to it. Sounds like another question has come in, and why don't we address that question? And we're almost at the half-hour mark, so we'll address that and be on our way. So Zach, what do you have?
Here's a question. What about the office that doesn't have a recording that requires a patient to pick a line? Okay, so there may be numbers on your end that do go to, I think you may be referring to maybe the old IVR that required them to pick an office via the IVR prompt. What we're doing kind of circumvents that. So all these numbers here, when they scroll down and dial to an individual office, it's going to go directly to that office. It's not going to go into an IVR that requires them to pick an office.
And that's a critical improvement. Did you show these guys the new landing pages as well?
Yeah, I agree.
So just like new landing pages, we're trying to make the program better. So before, the user had to listen to, a fairly a long selection of phone calls. We have dynamic phone replacement where they're listening to a selection that's 10 seconds long. Press 1 if new patient, press 2 if existing, press 3 if other. And then this way the customer does not have to spend time in the IVR. We've already routed them to the correct phone number based on dynamic phone replacement at the page level. So we think that's better for the user, should be better for your business, and also is no loss in data in automatically assigning them a new patient status that you see as IVR new patient in the portal. So it's a good question. If that's, hopefully we've addressed that.
And just to offer a little further clarification, here's another one. How do you track a call if they go right to the office? So what we're doing is we're linking tracking numbers to your office numbers. So these aren't your office number you may be familiar with. So Bethlehem's on the line. 518-375-2388 is not their actual office number. We pull that number and direct it to the correct office number, and that captures the recording and requests them to select new patient, existing patient. So those recordings aren't on your end, that's on our end. Hopefully that resolves that question.
And one thing people should be assured about is when we set these up, it's a pretty complex system. We do an extensive QA. From time to time, we're catching mistakes just like any complex system, but this has gone through quite a bit of QA that the tracking phone number is going to the proper destination phone number. So in all cases, it's ringing through directly to the office. So I think we're pretty much on time. We want to thank people for their half an hour, and those on the West Coast, thank you for dipping into your lunch hour. We appreciate that. Hopefully everyone finds this information helpful. As I said before, our contact information, MD Connect, is listed right in the portal, and also Don and Lauren have received a little bit of extra training as well, and they can be a resource too. So if that concludes it, thanks Zach, thanks Nicholas. We really appreciate everyone's time, and we look forward to helping you guys grow your business through digital marketing. Thanks so much, everybody. Take care.
Thank you very much.